Some of these hacks are going to sound a little ridiculous. Some of them might even sound like bad advice. But every one of these, I've used when something wasn't going right out in the wilderness. Cold nights, wet gear, or just trying to get through until the morning. And if you've ever laid in your tent thinking, there has to be a better way, then a few of these might actually stick with you. These aren't hacks that you find in a checklist. They're the kind of things that you figure out after enough nights where things didn't go as you planned. Some people may swear by these, and some people may think they're completely dumb. And I'm actually going to be curious to know what you're going to think about them as we go through them. So let's list them out. This one's kind of old school, but it works. Before bed, boil some water, throw it in your Nalgene, and now put it in a sock so it doesn't burn you. And then drop it down by your feet in your sleeping bag. You don't need any batteries. You don't need any new gear. It's just heat that'll last for a good portion of the night. If you've ever had cold feet ruin your trip, then you're going to remember this one. This one sounds like overkill until you hit one of those nights where the temps drop well below what you expected. Putting your bivy inside your tent, it traps just enough heat and it cuts those drafts that you don't even notice until you're shivering. This one's not about being comfortable. It's about actually getting some sleep. Your instinct is to seal everything up. Just lock in all the heat. But what actually happens is all that moisture that you're breathing out actually ends up becoming condensation on the tent. So instead, just crack the door a little. It may feel wrong the first time you do it, but dry, moving air beats warm, damp air every time. This one here is not a nice trick. This is a things went sideways trick. If it gets colder than you planned for, you can use your pack liner as a vapor barrier. It traps heat, but it also traps everything else. So yeah, this may not be ideal, but if you're trying to stay warm through the night, it actually works. There are places where you're going to go where stakes don't actually matter. Maybe the ground's rocky, frozen dirt, or you're even trying to pitch in the sand. That's where this comes in. Wrap your lines around rocks. Make sure you lower the angle so that you get more surface contact. And actually, in storms, I trust these more than I do stakes. Your pack doesn't have to just disappear once camp's all set up. Lay it in your vestibule. Put it on its side or down flat. But put it in the area where you're getting the most breeze. It'll actually end up blocking more than you think. It can block the wind, rain splashing, even a little snow. I mean, you already have it there. You might as well use it. This one's simple. Flip your headlamp upside down and clip it to the top of your tent. The whole tent will end up lighting up. You don't need any extra gear. You don't need to bring any extra weight. And somehow, it just feels better than a beam shining down in your face. Do you end up having cold shoes in the morning? That's one of those things that just ruins your mood, like immediately. So instead of leaving them out, slide them under the edge of your sleeping pad. It'll help them stay warm just enough so that they don't end up freezing. I use this one all the time. Take your buff and pull it over your eyes. Pull it over your ears. It will not only help keep your head warm, but it'll also help block out some of the light. You don't need any straps. You don't have to do any adjusting. It's actually really simple, and it stays in place all night long. This one surprises a lot of people. Snow actually insulates really well. Pile it around the base of your tent. It'll seal out drafts and stabilize the temperature inside. It feels a little backwards to do it, but if you're a winter camper, you know this one. All right, and now here's a bonus one for you. And it'll feel like magic the first time you use it. Do you end up having wet shoes? Stuff them full of newspaper before bed. And by morning, they're gonna be way drier than you expected. And it's really not that much extra weight to carry out a little newspaper. None of these are flashy, but they're the kind of little things that make a rough night feel manageable. And sometimes, that's the difference between a trip you enjoy and one you end up just surviving. So now I'm curious, which one of these would you actually try? Or which of these have you actually done yourself? And also, which of them do you actually think may be dumb? And if you're new to backpacking and still trying to figure all this stuff out, I've created a beginner starter kit that'll help you give you all the information that you need to get out and be successful on your first trip. I'll make sure to leave it down in the links below. As always, guys, I hope this was useful for you, and hopefully I see you out on the trail.